So this review is kind of awkward, and bear with me here, because the OnePlus 13 isn't exactly a new phone, and I'm reviewing it as a new product. It actually dropped in China 2 months before we got our hands on it here in North America. I didn't watch any of those early reviews because I wanted my thoughts to be completely my own. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you already know that I love OnePlus phones. Now, they've been some of the most fun phones out there for years, unafraid to push boundaries and try new things. But I've got to admit, something's been missing in the past few versions. And honestly, that's not just a OnePlus problem. It's a phone industry problem. Sure, processors are faster, screens are brighter, but after a while, all these phones start to feel the same. Even OnePlus admitted it. They've been so focused on making the perfect phone that their phones lost a bit of personality. But now we have the OnePlus 13, and I have to say that it feels like a throwback in all the right ways. It's bringing back that bold, in-your-face software personality that we haven't seen in years. Plus, we have a familiar design, but redefined. Brand new colors, fresh accessories, and hardware that actually stands out with IP69. Nice. And this is the OnePlus 13, and here is my review. By the way, this is a longer video as there is a lot going on with the OnePlus 13, so make sure you hit subscribe and press like if you appreciate the extra long video. Let's start with price. OnePlus has positioned this phone, again, very competitively with the 13. Starting at $900 for 12 gigabytes and 256 storage, or for $1,000, you get 16 gigabytes and 512 storage. Over the past couple of years, everything in tech has been about AI. It's like companies want us to care more about their AI features than the actual hardware. And honestly, I ain't about that trend. But with the OnePlus 13, the hardware is the star of the show. Yes, there are some AI stuff that we can talk about later, but the build of this phone, that is what makes it special. It has IP68 and 69 on board, which is 2 different certifications. And this means the OnePlus 13 can be underwater for 30 minutes, 1.5 meters deep, but also can withstand high temperatures and water jet pressure. And so much that they had a mini dishwasher and this phone was in there for hours at a time. Look, I'm not spraying my phone, I'm not doing these things, but one less way for my phone to get destroyed, it's a win in my book. The OnePlus 13 comes in 3 different colors: Midnight Ocean, Black Eclipse, and Arctic Dawn. This is Midnight Ocean. It's my review unit, and it's rocking this like microfiber vegan leather back. It feels incredible in the hand, and also it doesn't pick up fingerprints. The Black Eclipse has a classy wood grain design, while Arctic Dawn uses a silk glass finish that is smooth to the touch, and this also prevents fingerprints. The Midnight Ocean and Arctic Dawn are only found on the 16 gigabyte variant. The aluminum rails though, yeah, those do get fingerprints, but overall, this phone's new flat design with what OnePlus calls quad curve edges, I don't care what they call it, it feels good in the hand and it's extremely comfortable to hold. Now the camera cluster on the back has 3 lenses just like before. It's thinner than what we saw on the OnePlus 12, and it's even smaller than what we see on the iPhone and Galaxy S24. OnePlus was able to rebuild the module and optimize its layout to make it even slimmer, which also helps the phone feel more balanced. It's not as top heavy as some other phones, which makes it more comfortable to hold. The new ultrasonic fingerprint scanner is also a nice touch. It's twice as fast as the last version, and it even works with wet fingers. Now let's talk about the display, and according to DisplayMate, it's one of the best mobile displays ever, earning an A++ rating and setting over 21 performance records. It features a 6.82-inch display with a high refresh rate that can drop down to 1 Hz. Brightness is also notable. It's 1600 nits in regular use and peak of 4500 nits, making it among the brightest displays available in the market. And let me tell you, these nits, when it comes to like being outside and cranking the brightness all the way up, yeah, the phone is still visible. It doesn't have that washed out look that we see with some other phones. Now, screen brightness is something that all the phones are doing now, all the high-end phones, and OnePlus is leading that charge as of right now. And, when you're watching videos on platforms like Amazon Prime or YouTube, you get this high quality viewing experience with vibrant colors and excellent clarity. And when gaming, the touch response is so smooth. And in games that supports 120 Hertz, like PUBG, there's another one, Kill Switch, and also Subway Surfers, the responsiveness adds a layer of fluidity to this experience that makes it feel great to play on. The phone retains the classic alert slider, and the build quality overall feels solid and premium. If there's one aspect I would critique, is that the display doesn't include an anti-glare feature. As this technology becomes more common, it's something I hope to see implemented in future models, as it could significantly enhance the usability in bright conditions for me. So on board, we have Oxygen OS 15. And we also can expect this to roll out to OnePlus 12 and 11, because OnePlus does a good job keeping their phones updated. Over the years, I've consistently appreciated Oxygen OS for its simplicity and smooth performance, and this version continues that trend. It avoids unnecessary bloat and focuses on delivering a seamless user experience. You have these subtle animations like the sun icon spinning as you adjust the brightness, or the ability to cancel an app launching mid-swipe. This shows attention to detail that users who appreciate that refinement and the simple things in life with mobile devices will definitely notice. The AI features are practical and they're not overbearing. One standout is the intelligent search, which scans across apps, texts, and files to deliver an actual result for something you're searching for. Now, it's really useful for finding a message or apps quickly, or just something like whatever you're searching for, you can do it in one spot. It is really nice. Although navigating settings can be a little overwhelming since there's so many settings on this phone, that's where it kind of falls apart, and that's where I just go into settings and do a search instead. Other AI features include tools like Voice Memo, which transcribes spoken notes, and it works as expected. Camera enhancements such as photo unblurring, reflections removal, and an eraser tool. Now, while these additions are not groundbreaking, they are useful and they integrate well into the overall experience. Now, I do think some of the AI features on the camera app is done by other manufacturers a little bit better, but it's still nice to have it on your phone. OnePlus has built a reputation for performance in hardware, and the OnePlus 13 is no exception. It's powered by the latest Snapdragon Elite processor, paired with either 12 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it offers up to 512 gigabytes of UFS 4.0 storage. And I'm also surprised there wasn't a 1 terabyte option. I do feel like that's a missed opportunity, but that being said, the phone is fast, not just because of the specs, but because of how well the software is optimized and how light it runs. Apps launch instantly, and it feels like they open before you even are done tapping them. Unlocking the phone is just as smooth with Face Unlock enabled. This phone is ready to go as soon as I look at it. If you prefer to use the fingerprint scanner, it is just as quick, no delay. They said it's 2 times faster than the 12, which I thought was pretty fast as well. Now, gaming on this phone is excellent, although most games are still limited by their own design rather than the hardware at this point. So this phone can do 120 Hertz, but there's a lot of games that don't support it. I would say only a couple games support it, and this phone makes the most out of the higher frame rate. It looks really good and performs great. I would say it's up there with the Asus gaming phone. Now, I will say after some hardcore gaming and running benchmarks, I did take the temperature and it was 116 degrees, which is pretty hot to the touch. Testing phones with the older processor gets pretty hot too, but they're like at 110, and once you get 110 or more, you can definitely start to feel it on your hands. And I think OnePlus sort of knew that was going to happen because there is an accessory you can buy that can mitigate that, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. OnePlus also managed to fit a 6,000 milliamp battery into a thinner body thanks to the silicon nanostack technology. It's a newer innovation that allows more capacity in a smaller physical size. When it comes to charging, this phone includes an 80-watt fast charger in the box, and in my testing, it went from 0 to 100 in 37 minutes. But what's even more practical and impressive is that just in 15 minutes, going from 25%, you can get up to around 75% on this charger. And that's super convenient for those moments where you know you're about to go out and you just plug your phone in just for a few minutes and then you're good to go the rest of the night. And also this charging animation, I know it's not new, but I really like it. It shows the percentage down to the 100th, and it's just one of those small details that continues to make a difference on a OnePlus phone. Just those little things that you could appreciate as it happens. Now, when it comes to day-to-day battery life, I haven't had a chance to fully test it on like a travel day, because that's where I really see the battery life differences. Because like when I'm at home on my Wi-Fi, I'm not really stress testing the battery that much. I'm also on my computer a lot. So when it comes to like those very long days, that's when I want to see the battery life. But so far, over these past couple of weeks of using this phone, the battery is just as good as what I expect. It's just as good as the S24 Ultra, which is up there as the best battery lives on phones that I've seen in this day and age. OnePlus also took an interesting approach to Qi 2 in MagSafe charging. So there's no built-in MagSafe support, but they created a magnetic paper that you can place inside your case. It's not the most elegant solution, but it works. And I've used various MagSafe chargers with no issues at all. And on top of that, OnePlus also offers their own magnetic charging, the AirVoc 50-watt magnetic charger, which has a built-in fan for cooling. And I think OnePlus, it wants you to use this with gaming, so you can have your phone cooling down, and then also you have it charging at the same time. Now, it is a fast charger, but to reach those fast charging speeds, you need to use their cable, which oddly enough isn't included with the charger. And I think that's a bit of an oversight in my opinion, as OnePlus usually isn't stingy with accessories. Speaking of accessories, OnePlus has some great first-party options. Their cases are well made and their earbuds are surprisingly good. Now let's move to camera, a key feature that continues to improve year over year. And if you haven't been keeping up with the Chinese phone market, there has been a lot of innovation lately. So I am interested to see what OnePlus has up its sleeve, because the competition has gotten better. The OnePlus 13 features a triple 50 megapixel camera setup, including a main sensor and ultra wide lens, and then you have your 3x telephoto lens. The telephoto lens incorporates AI enhancements that allows zooming up to 30x in high quality, but it also can go much further. And I definitely did test it. The cameras offer a variety of modes and color profiles, including pro modes for both photos and videos named Master. So this phone has all the ingredients in a great chef. But can it cook though? Over the past few weeks, I've taken more than 400 photos with this phone, and while I generally do enjoy the results, there are some observations worth noting. For example, let's take a look at this image I took with Daniel. It is a good photo, and on the phone it looks really great, but once you get it on the computer, it starts to look flat and lacks contrast. Now, going into photo editing and adding contrast really brings these images to life and makes them more visually appealing for everyday use. And I put these images in good lighting right up there with the best of them. So for me to get this nice photo, I had to switch my filter to vibrant. And so that improved the appearance for me, and it makes it a much better camera, in my opinion. Now, I did notice that many images tend to lean towards warmer tones, which has been reoccurring characteristic for OnePlus cameras over the years, and it becomes more exaggerated when you have lower light. In low light conditions, this camera performs well, capturing a significant amount of detail across all focal lengths. However, at times the camera can over brighten images in these scenarios. The shutter speed is fast even in lower light settings, which is helpful for capturing clear images without a lot of motion blur. Take a look at these shots. I mean, these people were jumping off stuff and diving in water, and it was capturing these things. Now, I was using something called action mode, and that is a feature that is really good. It provides a quick shutter speed for capturing fast moving subjects. You can also get the same results by holding the shutter down manually, and that's pretty cool. Okay, let's talk about video, and sadly, I'm not seeing much of a difference compared to the 12. The video is still lacking, and it's still behind what we're gonna see with the iPhone and with the Galaxy, and even now the Pixel, as the Pixel 9 Pro actually got way better with video. So overall, it's the same story with OnePlus, but I will say cameras have gotten better than the 12 by quite a bit. in low light and also the shutter speed with the new action burst mode. So here's the OnePlus 13, a great start of the year. And once again, factoring the price, OnePlus might make a run for my phone of the year as they did with the 12. If you want to see how this phone stacks up compared to the 12, click the next video right here.